It's Easter once again, and we are celebrating with cinnamon-based snacks, which the internet assures me was plentiful thousands of years ago and is mentioned a couple of times in the Old Testament, making it the perfect theme for today's episode. Jesus may have risen, but today we have Riz. You tried it! You tried that. Happy Easter. I'm Nick Novak, my pal Chad Hancock.
Howdy.
Nick Geiger.
Hello.
Was Jesus the original Rizzler? Is that the question we have posed?
My wife did send me a picture of a shirt this week where it says Jesus is risen with R-I-Z-Z-I-N, and he's like dunking a basketball. It's really funny.
My son played Dungeons and Dragons with his friends like last summer, and he named his character Theodore Roosevelt, which he definitely would not want me talking about on this podcast, but fuck you about it. Which I thought was funny. Anyway.
All right, so it's Easter. I've been just destroying Cadbury eggs this year, like probably the most I've in any Easter in a decade. I've just been on a kick, one after another.
How many you at now? 35, 36? What you doing?
What you doing?
What you doing?
It's like how much you bench?
What kind of numbers you putting up over there?
So
I have only had 2 Reese's eggs so far this season. I know those are rookie numbers.
Run out of time.
Yep.
So I go to Walgreens on a break from work with a friend of mine, picking up a few things, and I decided to grab a couple Cadbury eggs. And as we get to the counter, I put them down, and my friend says, "Oh, you get one more, you can juggle." And I say, "Oh, actually, I can juggle, like moderate juggling skills, but not good." And the cashier, who is probably like a 50-year-old man, says, "Hey, I used to juggle semi-professionally." And I wasn't sure, like, if he's making a joke. I was like, "Oh, okay,
neat, man. Yeah. Anyway, gotta go."
Well, why did you open your mouth? You are not part of this conversation.
I was talking to him. I was like, "Yeah,
let me juggle my attention back to the person it belongs to, my friend."
And he says, "I used to do it at like local parades and markets and things like that, like put on shows for kids." And so I was like, "Oh," so then I was interested. I was like, "Do you juggle like a flaming torch or knives and stuff like that?" And he says, "Yeah, I actually juggled fire." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And he goes, "Until one year when something went really wrong." I was like,
okay.
Yes.
And then like did not
You remember the California wildfires we just had? I was juggling in the woods.
And I was like, "Oh, but I guess no one got hurt though, right?" Like I wasn't sure what to say. And he goes, "Well, yeah, sorta." I'm like, "Oh,
what the shit?" Anyway, paper or plaster?
He goes, "Yeah, it was nothing. Nobody got badly hurt, but to this day, I don't do performances anymore." It's like, what is happening?
Holy shit!
Was he like staring off into the foreground, or just like going through it? PTSD.
And so then I was kind of like frozen. I was like, "What's next? What's he going to say next?" He goes, "Well, on that note, have a good day."
Oh, wow.
Who did you kill?
Yeah.
And then he was forced to quit his job and move like David Banner. Not go on to the next town.
I was juggling 3 flaming Cadbury eggs. A child tried to eat one of them.
I meant to like look up juggling catastrophe near my zip code.
Like there's a sex offender list. You could just go on jugglers offenders list. Now, are you sure he said he was a juggler and not a juggalo?
Good question.
Like
hey,
there could be incidents there.
If you had 3 Cadbury eggs, you could juggle them. I am a juggalo.
But not anymore after an unfortunate incident with Faygo. So
You might recognize me. My name is Shaggy Too Dope.
What's the other? Oh,
Violent
J.
J. Yeah. Fucking dumb fucks. Anyway, so you never found it.
I
Like,
see you're buying some Jay's potato chips. I was once Violent J.
I see you're buying
But
some
nobody got hurt,
marijuana.
or
I was
what?
Shaggy Too Dope. Yeah, I like it. It's. Did anybody get hurt? Oh, violent, huh? And we get lit on fire.
I see there's
So
two of you here at the cash register. That's sort of a posse. I was once in a posse with one other friend.
Just working the front desk at like a mental health clinic. I see you're insane. I was once in the insane clown posse. That's very insensitive, Jay.
I can't believe you didn't ask him. Like,
yeah,
what?
I would have asked follow up.
Yeah, like what happened
For
at
the
the gathering of
podcast,
the
Novak.
Juggalers that he, you know.
That he would never go back. Yeah,
Yeah.
at some point I'm holding up the line. Like, I should go back. Because in the moment you're like, how do I escape? You know,
Yeah,
like you're looking at
absolutely.
exits. But I was also like oddly interested too. So I do regret not getting more information, but it did make my day.
You need to like you need to do make this like a Nathan Fielder style rehearsal where you like go back and do it again, the conversation again with the same guy. And but this time, you know what I mean? Like just walk up with a couple eggs and be like, "Oh, yeah, I was thinking about juggling these eggs. Do you have anything to say about that, cashier?" And like then just start the conversation again and try to get more deets from him.
Just taunt him with his past life. Oh, got a couple big lighters here. It'd be a real shame if these got juggled, huh?
Just walk up juggling 3 Cadbury eggs and trigger this man's PTSD. I didn't see if he had an ankle bracelet or anything like that, so I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
The
I'm
work
serious,
release
yeah.
thing? Was he just an arsonist? And he was, I juggled with fire a bit.
I juggled a Molotov cocktail into my ex-girlfriend's window. You know how it is. As one does.
Did anyone get hurt? Yeah, my ex-girlfriend. She got hurt pretty bad, actually, and I'm in jail. I also heard her new boyfriend, Shaggy Too Dope.
That's why they call me Violent J. I'm violent offender.
Violent offender. I was a violent jarsonist. It's no fucking sense. All right.
I go by Violent J. Oh, you're saying Clown Posse fan? Insane what?
I'm just really violent, man. Oh, shit. My name is Jeremy.
All right, so we got some Easter snacks. Eat them on. We're gonna rate them on a 5-point scale. Love that, like that, indifferent to that, dislike that, and hate that. Let's just get this fucking protein bar out of the way. This is called the original NuGo, NuGo Churro Flavor. It's got 11 grams of protein.
I will say I do think juggling is cool. It's one of those things where it's like if I could give myself like a parlor trick kind of skill, you know, like I like juggling would be a cool one to have. And I always tried to practice. I could never get past. This is not impressive at all, but I can never get past two balls, which is the easiest thing in the world. Just throwing one to one hand, and
I can do that.
I could do at one point in my life I could do 3 scarves because scarves like float in the air and they're easy as fuck.
Yeah, that's how I learned.
Yeah,
was with scarves, but I can do 3 of most things. But here's how quickly that trick goes. You juggle. They're impressed for 8 to 10 seconds, and then 5 seconds after that they say, "Can you do 4?" And you say, "Go fuck yourself."
I thought you were going to say you juggle for like 5 to 10 seconds, and then afterward you're juggling women because there's so many phone numbers.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's really hard to keep juggling while they are trying to pull your pants down.
While they are trying to juggle them nuts. That's really hard to do that.
She was trying to pull my pants down, and I dropped a flaming torch on her back. Now, are you happy you asked? Are you glad?
The love of my life is dead. You just met her. She was the only woman who touched me. I'm a juggler.
Maybe you should have just bought your Cadbury eggs in silence, huh?
Novak, I'm just picturing Novak walking up with a shopping cart full of Cadbury eggs, just like filled to the brim with individual wrapped eggs.
He couldn't even go through. I used to juggle. What the fuck is your?
Oh, you could do 3, now do 4, now do 5, now do 360, and you're just throwing them at him. Juggle these eggs.
Whipping.
So yeah, as difficult as it was to learn, it was harder to like stave off all the push that was coming at you.
Yeah, I bet.
So wait, so you can't do 4? Is that what you're saying? You can't. What you doing with the juggling? What you doing there? How many are you doing?
What you jug?
What's your jug
How
count?
much jug can you jug?
All right, Geiger.
Yeah.
Tell us your thoughts on this.
I can't juggle for shit. Like, not a day has gone by where I've juggled anything. Other
Tell
than...
Tell us your thoughts on this protein bar. I can't juggle for shit.
I will say, as protein bars go, we've had a lot worse. This one almost tastes more like a cereal bar to me than like it doesn't have that weird, shitty protein bar aftertaste. I mean, this isn't something I would ever choose. I'm not a big cinnamon guy. Cinnamon's fine. Cinnamon sugar, is essentially what we think of as cinnamon. It's fine. Not a big Rice Puffs guy. That's fine. The frosting is just generic, shitty, sugary vanilla frosting. It's fine. Everything about this is fine. But it's not like actively like, oh my God, spit it out like a lot of the protein bars we've had that just taste like fucking glue. So I would give this an indifferent. I think it's okay. It's just not. I know I'm probably going to be alone on that, but I don't think it's offensive.
Holy shit. And indifferent.
Yeah.
Wow. From a man who hates
fine.
cinnamon.
Yeah.
All right. I like how you said cinnamon sugar and cinnamon are the same thing.
Well, but that's what we think of when we think of cinnamon flavored. Like, this thing is cinnamon sugar.
Snack.
No, I think of
Yeah.
cinnamon when I think of cinnamon.
Well, you're just a fucking spice purist. My bad, dude.
Yes. Okay.
It's just garlic salt, not garlic powder. I don't give a fuck. Shut the fuck up.
I do like cinnamon. I do like Rice Puffs. And this delivers neither of those in spades. It's okay. Geiger is right about this is not like the worst protein bar. Like, this is not Robert Irvin Fit Crunch level bad, or some of those other ones that are just like a cement block of whey powder or whatever the fuck it is, right? Like, but that, to me, the aftertaste is still there. The cinnamon, I do like cinnamon, but the cinnamon here is like overwhelming almost. Like, it really comes at you in a way that is unpleasant. This bar is gross. Hate that.
Geiger, you said a couple things that it
Sure
wasn't all that weird and wasn't all that shitty. Those were false statements that you made. It doesn't taste good. It does taste more like a cereal bar than a protein bar. Like, the mealiness is not quite as mealy. I could eat it more than some of these really, really bad protein bars. It only has 11 grams of protein, which is kind of low versus some of what we eat. Don't love cinnamon. Starts off on a bad note for me anyway. Consistency is not terrible. I'm going to give it a low-level dislike that. I'm not going to quite squeeze it to hate. So we're got an indifferent, a dislike, and a hate. Really terrible score to start. Next, let's go to the cinnamon sugar pretzel sticks. The brand is Pop Daddy Pretzels. And on the front it says, these are bold snacks made with big heart, hand seasoned in small batches, made with flavors so bold, it's lip smacking, finger licking goodness and crunch.
Now, one or both of you don't really like hard pretzels. Is that right? If I remember correctly.
Hard pretzels.
I don't always reach for pretzel as a snack, but I like hard pretzels fine.
Maybe I was thinking of somebody else, Shaggy Two Dope or somebody.
Was it one of you that did hard time in prison for arson?
One of you or both of you, I can't remember which, is Violent J.
I think it was me.
You think?
I'm pretty sure
I seem to remember.
Yeah, that was me. I had
a
long career as a
one or
frontman for the
both of
Insane Clown
you
Posse.
is the founder of the Gathering of the Juggalos. I don't remember which one.
It's a very weird group
to have such a fervent thing.
Like, I get when like bands have followings and they dress up like whatever, fine. But
fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't bother me at all. But the music's so bad. Like, a lot of times
Novak Magnets. How do they work? Right? That's their famous song.
Sometimes it always seems to be the worst musicians have the biggest. Like, I always thought the same thing about like the parrot heads, like Jimmy Buffett. Like,
yeah,
songs are fucking terrible.
Yeah. I always think that too about the Beatles. Yellow Submarine sucks dick, honestly. I hate that fucking song.
Chad, you like Yellow Submarine, but what do you think of these pretzels?
I'll be honest, a little disappointed here. I kind of had high hopes for them. I am a big hard pretzel guy. I think that's a great snack. I put it right up there with chips, honestly. A good hard pretzel can be as good as a good potato chip to me. And I like cinnamon sugar, but the mixture here is just not working. These should be savory instead. I'll bet it seems like a good quality pretzel. I'll bet Pop Daddy makes a great, salt flavored pretzel, or like maybe even some other savory kind of flavored pretzels. But the cinnamon sugar, I don't know. It's not exactly working for me. I'm going to leave it at an indifferent to that.
I'll thank you for saying what needs to be said, because these,
you're welcome.
You nailed it. This brand seems good. It seems like a quality brand. The pretzel is a high quality snacking pretzel. The flavor is not right. Even as a person who doesn't like cinnamon, and I try to grade it on just like how well done it is, I don't think that it's all that well done. I don't think they've nailed the combination. I wish it was better, but I would like to try another Pop Daddy pretzel. I'm going to give it a second indifferent to that.
Yeah, I think you guys said what needed to be said.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what?
So I'm sorry. What was
saying what needed to be said?
Yeah, now I understand. You switched into the language there for a minute.
Yeah, Juggalos are still real to me. Damn it! I appreciate what they do to their bodies by letting jugglers burn them alive. I think a pretzel, by definition, is got to have salt. Like, this isn't a pretzel. This is like a stale breadstick that's got some sugar on it, and to me, that's not all that tasty. I'm not a huge cinnamon guy or a cinnamon sugar guy, which are different things. Let's not forget. I would say indifferent as well. Indifferent's a pretty fair score, I think, for that.
Okay, lazy electioneer, but it is comfortably in the lead, and we've got a cinnamon churro chip coming up after the segment. Geiger.
Yeah, all right. Fuck, marry, kill, Violent J. No, let's do a segment we've done before.
Shaggy Two Dope, and who's the last?
And the cashier.
So Violent J again?
So can I just fuck all of them? They sound hot. We are going to do bad dates. So we've done this before where I tell you I've got stories that I found online of people telling stories about their bad dates, and what you guys have to do, right, is swipe left if you would go on a date with that person again, or swipe right. So again, we are evaluating the person they are telling the story about, not the person who's telling the story.
Swipe.
I think left.
Left is good.
Which one means good in Tinder? I don't know.
I just went off what you just said.
Hold on.
Okay, I could probably have done 2 seconds of research.
Is swipe left good or bad? Swipe left is rejecting a profile. Swipe right means you like it.
Okay, so invert
flipped.
that. Yeah, okay. So if you want to go on a date with this person that they're talking about, swipe right. All right? Okay, first one.
So Shaggy 2 Dope, swipe right, and Violent J, swipe right.
I swiped right on my daughter's chin. The only ICP song I ever heard.
What the fuck is that?
I had a college friend one time being like, "Oh, I love Insane Clown Posse. You got to hear this song. It's so good." And the only verse I remember saying and then her dad walked in, seeing me dangling my balls on her chin or something like that's what insightful writing that is, you fucking shithead. Why is that good? Why are they popular? I'm with Novak. Why are they popular? Okay, let's get back.
That's just stolen. I think that's just a Shakespeare line.
No. That was their Yellow Submarine cover. Remember that part?
We all dangle our balls on her chin. Okay. Number 1. My date drank at least 15 beers and kept sneaking off to do cocaine in the bathroom. He was running his fingers over his gums and telling me how he used to hide in his roommate's closet to watch him have sex. We split a cab home since we lived nearby, and with eyes wide open, he screamed, "Let's go to a rave," while raking his hands through his sweaty hair. We never spoke again. So,
this is the first one.
That's the first one. They're not all this great. But Chad, will have you go first. Would you want to swipe left or swipe right on that date?
Because usually you start with a few that we might want to swipe right on.
Look, I had to find ones that weren't openly problematic. So here we are.
Okay, so 15 beers, Coke, sun's out, gums out. He's rubbing his gums.
Famous
what is the gums? Which
I think when you have the residue of cocaine, you rub it in your gums because your gums will absorb it faster. Yeah.
Okay.
Not that I know from experience.
Yeah, I'm not up on my.
But you do when you hide in your closet. It's a good place to hide while you watch your roommate have sex. I do know from experience on that one. So.
Wow. Yeah. The if it was just the roommate thing, that's somehow the least bad of these. Maybe you guys will disagree. That seems like the least bad to me. Going to rave is pretty bad, and of course all the drugs and stuff. I don't know what else to really say about this guy, but I would not have shared a cab with him. I'll tell you that much for sure. But swipe left.
No, you like raves, right?
Oh, I mean, he sounds fun, right?
Yeah.
I like she said, he said with eyes wide or something like, yeah, no shit.
We did drink 15 beers. That would have me unconscious.
Doing cocaine. I haven't blinked all fucking night. Okay.
Do you have a roommate?
Throwing water in his eyes. My eyes are drying out. This guy sounds cool as fuck. But I don't think I can keep up with him. I'm going to definitely swipe left.
Okay. All right. Next one. Now, this is someone telling a story about their brother and a girl he was on a date with. Okay. So we're talking about the girl here. Him and his girlfriend of about 6 months had set a date to go to the zoo. The day arrives, but my brother had a stomach bug and tries to rain check it. The girlfriend acts all disappointed and sad, so he caves and decides to go anyway. She drove. About 10 miles before arriving at the zoo, my brother asks her to pull over so he can use the bathroom. She, in her haste to arrive at the zoo, refused and told him that they would be there shortly. She insisted that he hold it. Now, if anyone knows anything about my brother, it's that if he asks you to pull over for a bathroom break, then you would better pull the fuck over immediately. Anyways,
that's a fact about a person. Yeah, if they tell you to pull over. You know my brother. He pukes a lot on the road, so you better pull over. Weird.
Anyways, they arrive and he jumps out of the car and starts waddling to the bathroom. He only made it about halfway there. It was a full unload. There was no stopping it. He continued on to the bathroom to clean himself up as well as he could, considering the circumstances. Understandably irritated and embarrassed,
Is
he
this
tells
you?
so this my brother, let's call him Rick.
Let's call him Rick Riger.
Rick Riger went to the zoo. Understandably irritated and embarrassed, he tells the girl to take him home so he can take a shower. Her response was to just go to Walmart, get some baby wipes, a new pair of pants, and return to the zoo. He yells no and demands to be taken home. She begrudgingly complied. The cherry on top is when they got home, she dumped him and said, "I don't date guys that shit themselves."
Oh.
So, Novak, how do you think of this lady?
What a real... She's all over the place.
Very zoo-obsessed woman.
Well, first...
Only the animals should be shitting everywhere.
I mean, first is the problem with the guy. If you're sick, don't just get talked into going to the fucking zoo with shaggy zoo dope here. And then he shits
giraffe.
himself.
he had a violent D, it sounds like.
he shits himself, and then she insists that he clean up, and they still go.
Yeah.
Right? So she was going to date guys who shit themselves.
Yeah.
Like she had...
As long as they go to Walmart first. No, you better get those Walmart brand wipes, okay? Nothing else will do for my man.
Only when he wants to go home does she decide that she will not date a shitting man. So this is the hypocrisy.
Shitting man.
The hypocrisy is the worst part.
I like how Chad's problem with it is the retailer that sold the wipes. He went to he's like, well, if you were going to Walgreens, this would all make sense, but Walmart, that's for losers.
Costco wipes are GTFO. That's what I said.
If I shit myself, you can get the wipes from a wandering vagrant. I don't care. Just give me the fucking wipes. I don't care what fucking store they come from. Give me a wipe.
Get me a magazine at the gift shop. I do not care. I will wipe my ass with a chimpanzee.
Has anyone seen a wandering vagrant? I need some wipes for my boyfriend's ass.
I'm going to say left.
Okay. Chad, you like this lady?
I want to know what this guy's plan was, though, while he's mid-car, right? Like, I thought he was going to puke or something, because he's like, pull over to the side of the road. Was he just going to blast his shit all over the side of the interstate? Like, watch out below! Off the bridge on 294. Yeah, so that's a little weird, but I mean, I have some sympathy for this guy. You know, I've been in those kinds of situations where, you know, you're on your way to somewhere and something's happening, you know. So I feel for him. I think she handled this poorly. I will swipe left.
And you know her brother, so.
Yeah. Anyone who knows that brother knows.
Yeah.
If he says, hey, maybe pull over, he's about to take a 5-alarm shit. Okay.
Anybody who knows my brother knows that if he says he's about to pull over, you better get to the nearest Walmart.
The wipes are in aisle J for violent J. All right. all right, real quick aside.
Are you cramping?
I'm having a rib cramp again. And I listened to the first time I did this episode, so I wouldn't repeat the articles. And I had rib cramps.
If I know one thing about Nick Geiger, it's that if he's doing a bad date segment, he's going to have rib cramps.
Oh, boy. Okay. Oh, boy. Okay. Number 3.
Fucking idiot.
Went on a date with a security guard from work. He picked me up in a really old school car. And as we were driving to the restaurant, his car died in the middle of the street. He told me it's okay. He's going to get it fixed, but he ain't ever going to get a new car because all new cars are being controlled by the government. That's how Paul Walker died. The government took control of his car and killed him. Next day, I tried to give him another chance, but he told me the earth was flat and dinosaurs weren't real. Folks can believe what they want, but he tried to push it on me, so I stopped talking to him. So, Chad, I know you're a big Paul Walker fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the government
This
took
must
him
be
out?
upsetting for you to hear the truth.
Yeah. Do you think they wanted to show Vin Diesel that they weren't going to let him push him around anymore?
Yeah. I was actually legitimate. One of the rare celebrity deaths where I was legitimately upset by it was Paul Walker. He's the heart and soul of that franchise. It's all been all downhill.
Yes,
since 8.
That franchise, known for its gritty heart and soul, as they launched a tank from a Lamborghini into a helicopter.
That's I mean, honestly, like that to me, that first one about the government controlling cars, I'd be like, that's a new one. You know, like I've heard the flat earth shit before, the dinosaurs, whatever. But like this government controls the cars thing.
Yeah.
Like
the Teslas.
Yeah, like how, like which part, like the fuel gauge, like what? It's the thing's not actually out of gas. They're making you go gas up before you have to. You know, like I don't understand which part it is, but swipe left. I guess. I mean, are there any swipe rights coming? Well, you know, I guess the segment is called Bad Dates.
I mean, just because he has a shitty car at first, I was like, yeah, that's okay. I mean, your car dies in the middle of the road, and you say, don't worry, I'm going to get it fixed. That doesn't really help me right now. No. I could live with all that, you know, shitty car, but then he goes off the rails a little bit. Yeah. I mean, it's distressing to hear about Paul Walker. Some of that other stuff, I don't know. So, swipe left.
Okay. Next one. I met a guy on Plenty of Fish, and we talked for a few weeks. We ended up planning on going to see a movie together as our first date. I arrived and spotted him standing near the ticket booth. The first thing I noticed was how greasy his hair looked. It looked like he hadn't washed his hair in days. As he buys the tickets and goes to pick out snacks, I'm also noticing that he smells, and that his fingernails are full of dirt. We get into the movie and pick our seats. He asks what I do for work. I tell him, and he proceeds to tell me about his job. Apparently, he's a gravedigger, and the reason he's so dirty is because he just got finished digging someone's grave. He then goes on to say, then goes on to tell me how hard the job is, and how he's had to bury his aunt. His phone goes off a few times, and he tells me it's his mother checking on us. After the movie was over, we hugged, and I split as quickly as I could. No, Mac, he's a hardworking man.
Is he? Does he? I'm pretty sure graves are dug with machine. Like, someone's doing it, but
I mean,
I don't think
shovel
someone's
at
with
the
a
very
shovel.
least. Not your paws. He's digging with his paws. It seems.
Also, everyone knows that when you're a gravedigger, no time for showering. Just go get some ass at the movie.
Yeah, it took him longer than he thought it would.
Yeah, it's bigger. Maybe he was a big fat guy. That time.
Yeah, graves.
Maybe he meant that he drives gravedigger, and then he was
Hey, what time do you want to go see a movie? Sunday. said he was going to go and crush all the cars in the parking lot in one fell swoop. And I said, what? He got out a stepladder and I got into Gravedigger.
And also he buried his aunt. He doesn't do the job, but his aunt's dead.
My aunt parked behind me and I backed over. Okay. I've been looking for a swipe right.
Yeah.
This guy's got an interesting career.
Yep. Career for sure.
Novak loves a blue collar worker, such as this
Yeah,
one.
he digs graves. He's a hardworking guy. You
Yep.
know, maybe he didn't quite have time to freshen up to your standards. Sorry. And he may or may not drive a giant monster truck. So those things are interesting to me. I'm going to give this guy a shot because I need to give someone a shot today. So it's right.
I mean, if he actually drove Gravedigger, that would be an automatic swipe right for me. Like I just so I can
Look.
ride in Gravedigger along, and then
and then ride him.
Yeah.
I'm not even into dudes, but I would swipe right on Gravedigger's owner. I want just for the ride of him.
Wasn't somewhere in the archives? Isn't someone
blowing
Painting grandma,
while
yeah.
driving Gravedigger?
It was Misconnections. It was like, you will drive hard stick or something. I was like, I bet you
who
would.
likes big truck, and you will. I think that's the hardest I've ever laughed on this podcast. Was blowing somebody while driving Gravedigger. That could be me. It could be me. I could be that person blowing him, and I'm blowing him so hard he drives over his aunt. I mean, it could happen. Like, this is the dream.
Yeah.
My dream is to blow a man so that he murders his aunt with a monster truck. A normal dream.
It's a classic first date meet cute.
There's a couple Hallmark
tired
movies
old
about that. But the problem here with this guy was that it's like the mom keeps checking in on him during the date.
Yeah,
that to
that's
me,
the
that
problem.
is the problem here. So
Yeah.
swipe left.
Okay. All right, next one. A second date with a guy I really liked. We were kissing, and he got a nosebleed during the kiss. I felt something warm in my mouth and pulled away only to realize I was living my worst nightmare. I wanted to puke, cry, and run away, but he drove, and I needed the ride home. I tried not to make him feel bad, but I have a huge fear of blood, so I felt like I was going to pass out. His response to the whole thing? Is now a bad time to tell you I have AIDS? I just stared at him until he laughed and said it was a joke. So funny. Never saw him again and stopped dating entirely for a bit. So, bled into her mouth. And then made an
That's
AIDS
not necessarily
joke.
his fault.
No,
Yeah.
That part is accidental.
Wait, so
Probably-
the AIDS was a joke or no?
Yes. Yeah,
Oh.
Well, I just stared at him until he laughed and said it was a joke.
Mm.
I'm assuming it is because she didn't add, oh, by the way, he also had AIDS. So,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, we can cut this if we have to. So, Chad, maybe he probably felt awkward. Maybe he was trying to lighten the mood.
Yeah. I kind of feel bad for this guy. There's medicines that can treat that stuff, even if it's not a joke. That certainly is not a reason necessarily to swipe left on someone. Why was he bleeding? I got lost at that.
Got a nosebleed.
Just got a nosebleed.
Oh, just got a nosebleed.
Yeah.
I actually am a guy that gets nosebleeds on occasion for no particular reason. And maybe he meant he's rich. He has a lot of people that help him at his house. He has like butlers and stuff. Those are his.
Oh yeah, aides as in like assistants.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Probably
that
what
makes
he meant.
probably what it is.
So yeah, swipe right. Sure, why not? I need to
Okay.
swipe right on somebody. Seems like
Sure.
a nice guy.
I feel like look, he made an off-color comment,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but I feel like he might have been reacting to her like visceral response to his bleeding.
Yeah.
Like, if she wanted to immediately puke because someone had a nosebleed and like wanted to get out of there immediately, I'm sure it became very clear to this guy, right? That I feel like this person has totally overreacted to the nosebleed.
Agree.
And so I think I would like to give this guy another shot with the more understanding person, me. So I'm going to swipe right.
Yeah, he can bleed all over my nuts while he's blowing me while I'm driving Gravedigger. So, you know, that sounds good.
What's quite the menage we got going on? So hold on, who's fucking who? I'm confused.
Did you just read? What's the name of that book? The Secret. Keep talking about getting blown in Gravedigger until it actually happens.
You just keep paying it forward with Gravedigger blowjobs, and soon you'll be getting a blowjob in Gravedigger. All right, next one. My story is of the funny variety in hindsight. Don't really find this all that funny, but we'll see. The guy I had texted for 2 to 3 days before we met up. When he picked me up, he was wearing a bulletproof vest. I don't know if it was a real one or just for show, but people were staring. On the way to the restaurant, he mostly talked about his knife collection. He abruptly changed his mind about going to a restaurant. Instead, we went to his apartment, where I met his 5 roommates. He then showed me the aforementioned collection along with a rifle that he had no permit for. I don't know why I stayed. I was glad when he changed the subject to talk about his ex for about an hour or more. It certainly felt longer. For the remainder of the date, he mostly played Counter-Strike and talked about the military and how he wished he could join. When he dropped me off at the station, he asked me to move in with him. Later, I found out he'd posted pics of me and just my face on Facebook saying I was his new girlfriend.
Whoa.
So, pretty funny if you think about it.
Yeah.
Militia dude gearing up for war. Novak.
Classic laugh-a-minute game Counter-Strike.
Oh, by the way, his name was literally Violent J.
His name was Shaggy Incel.
Shaggy No Hope.
Shaggy Two Knives.
Look, everything about this guy sounds real good, but he does not have a permit for his gun. It's a weird thing to throw in about. He showed me his 5 guns. He was a lunatic, and he had no permit for the rifle.
Look, not to judge this lady, but if he shows up wearing a fucking bulletproof vest and talking about his knife collection, I'm not then just going over to his apartment. Yeah. That's not probably a great idea. I'm just saying.
Huge
for
mistake.
future. Yeah, it's not just general.
Yeah, the problem is this guy's going to be very busy on January 6th. He's not going to be available. So, I'm
Shaggy to a non-shaman.
Yeah, this is probably the worst guy yet. Somehow we have topped Flat Earther, whatever the fuck else that guy said, dinosaurs, and Paul Walker orchestrated death.
Dinosaurs?
Yeah.
What did he say about dinosaurs?
He said dinosaurs weren't real.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then
so
he said Paul Walker's car was controlled by the government.
Yeah, this is the only possible thing worse than making light of Paul Walker's tragic death is having an unpermitted gun. So swipe left.
All right, one more, and then we can call it a day. Matched with this beautiful man with dark glowing skin and a nice haircut on Bumble. We'll call him Idris. This dude and I were talking for one day, and I was onboarding after being promoted, so I was super busy. Idris messaged me and said, "Hey, remind me where we are going on our date today." My dumbass thought I made plans and forgot, so I said, "Let's go to my favorite spot." I show up and I don't see the guy. Idris's skin was so dry and ashy I couldn't see his facial features. Jesus. His hair looked crazy. Seems a little judgy. His skin was so dry and ashy, I couldn't make out if he had a nose, apparently. His hair looked
He was
crazy.
Rorschach from Watchmen.
You think you're... They think they put me in here to have dinner, but you're locked in here with me. His hair looked crazy. He said insane things to me that didn't make sense. Like, do you like cats? And I said, yes, I'm allergic, but I do love kitties. And he said, oh, so you're like your man to yourself. Huh? He also lied about where he was from. He was also rude to the He was also rude to the waiter who was actually the manager of the restaurant. Now, if I bring a date there, this guy comes and checks on me. So it was time to pay, and we were walking up to the register where folks pay for their meals. Idris says, I need to go to the washroom. The manager and I waited for him to get back to at least pay for his part of the meal, and I looked around and saw him hiding behind this podium that was near the bathroom. The light hit his
he's
glasses.
He's won me back. I love this guy again.
I told the manager to please split the check and ask to buy a dessert to take home to my son. When I was signing the receipt, the guy came back, rubbing his hands and said, did you pay for me? And I said, absolutely not. And he said, damn, that usually works. Chad, what are your thoughts on Idris? Keep in mind that his face was really ashy.
Find a restaurant with a bigger podium, maybe.
He thought he could hide because his facial features are so indistinct that he just looks like every other person in the restaurant. She can't wait. Where'd my date go? Oh, it's a podium. I can't tell.
Let's have dinner at the White House Speaker of the House room. Hide behind the congressional podium.
There's the kittens thing is weird. Like, I wonder if he just was trying to be funny, or was that some kind of like he read a book where it's like if she likes kittens, she's possessive and with her man or so. You know, like I don't know.
He sounds like a big reader. Yeah.
That part's confusing to me. But I mean, it would be fun to date someone that has no discernible facial features.
He just permanently looks like when they blurkle someone's face out on the news. Oh, that's not really, they didn't doctor, that's how he looks.
The bathroom trick is very funny. I like that one a lot, but it's also very shitty. Swipe left.
Yeah, I feel like this guy needs to lean into his strengths, which would be able to like blend into a crowd, right? Like just sit with another table. Like she will never find you. You blend into the crowd.
She'll never find him at the gathering of the Juggalos. That's for sure. Like there's so many
right
people there.
His face was so ashy. Actually, it was the white face maniac. That wasn't Ash. That was.
He said the Juggalos don't exist. And I said, what about Shagosaurus T-Rex? So I'm gonna say this guy sounds like a really cool guy. I don't mind the ashiness. I mean, that seems like she's kind of burying the lead here. But that he tries to get out of pain for his own part of the dinner, much less hers, is a big issue. So swipe left.
That
usually works. That's the best way. I just picture him like doing the Birdman meme, like.
All right, let's eat the last snack. This is called Siete or Siete. I don't know how you do it, but it says it is grain-free cinnamon chips, churro strips, made with avocado oil and coconut sugar. It is paleo and vegan.
We had one of their products before because I remember buying it for Betsy or something like that because it was a gluten-free thing, I think. Made with coconut sugar and avocado oil.
Not this one, I hope.
I don't know.
We did Siete Mexican wedding grain-free cookies. About
They were not
80
good,
episodes ago.
That seems like a weirder thing to be gluten-free. This like tortilla chip seeming thing.
Well, tortilla chips. Tortillas, like real authentic ones made of corn, are gluten free, and that's essentially a corn chip. So this is probably
that's what I'm saying.
likely.
Like this seems more natural.
Oh, I thought you said less. I'm sorry.
Less surprising that it is.
Yeah.
Gluten-free. So basically, tastes like a corn chip with some cinnamon sugary powder on it. As a person who's not huge into these cinnamon flavor, as I mentioned multiple times, I think this is a well made. I think the chip has a good crunch to it. It's not too heavy, not too light. I think it's a good coating of the cinnamon sugar so as not to be overwhelming, but it does give it just a little bit of a flavor. I appreciate that it's well done. I'm going to give it a like that. Geiger, what do you think?
Yeah, these are tasty. They're light. They're crunchy. The cinnamon flavor is more akin to cinnamon sugar, which is the better spice. And I think it's like not overly sweet, but it's sweet enough. It's like I think this hits a lot of right notes. These are good. I like that as well for me.
So they are very likely to. They pretty much have already won, but let's see if we can get, at the very least, a welcome visitor, Chad.
Yeah, I think eating this, it like sort of really highlights even more so the like kind of failings of the pretzel, where like the cinnamon sugar flavoring is better here. It's like a better ratio of, the flavoring to the actual crispy snack that you're eating. This combination works really well here. I think these are super tasty, super addictive. This is a very high level like that for me. I think they're really good.
Good. Welcome visitor. Tasty snack. We do recommend those. Geiger, where can the listeners contact us?
If you need wipes, do not go to Walmart. Go anywhere else. The Walmart wipes are shitty, and not just because they're wiping up your shit. If you have a collection of knives and like a flak jacket, maybe leave it at home before you go on a date, unless you're literally dating like the Punisher or something. If you drive Gravedigger, boy, is Chad looking for you. He's just gagging for it. He's trying to set up some sort of blowjob daisy train in your monster vehicle. So get on it if you want some head.
Just going to blow it forward until I get the ride in the Gravedigger.
I remember that movie, Blow It Forward, where they talked about just blowing the person in front of you in hopes they'll blow someone else. Yeah, but if you want to get blown in a monster truck, you can get hold of us at youtrydat@gmail.com. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Let us know what you think of our snack ratings. Suggest a snack for us to try. Ask a question for the mailbag, as more folks have done more recently. Leave us a review or a like or a star or whatever your podcasting platform allows. If you do like the podcast, we'd love it if you'd share it with your friends and family. And as always, thank you for listening.
Okay, we'll do a quick Easter response here. What do you like best in an Easter meal? Is there something that you've always had back in the day?
Yeah.
You're going to make a dinner for Easter. What do you want in it?
I feel like I've associated with ham the most, like everyone else.
Yeah.
I like ham fine. A nice ham is tasty. Not a ham freak, really.
How about what's the best egg preparation? Is it cake?
I mean, I think that. I don't know if we had big Easter meals a lot as a kid. Certainly not on the level of like Thanksgiving or Christmas. I feel like we just. So yeah, my answer is bunny. I want to eat a fucking bunny. No, like fish, right? Because like Lent's over. So is that how that works? You can eat fish, or wait?
You eat fish during Lent, not after it's over. You can eat whatever you want.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Because you can't eat meat on Fridays.
Load up on red meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's got to be.
I think I remember like some sort of cheesy potato of some sort, like either a cheesy potato or like au gratin or something. I remember having it at Easter. Maybe this.
We ate a lot of cheese fries on Easter, you know.
I remember going to Culver's a lot on Easter. I got the ham.
My favorite Easter meal is the Baconator.
We used to gather around the Wendy's drive-thru and praise the rising of Christ.
My favorite Easter meal is the driver of Gravedigger's penis. That's my favorite Easter meal.
Oh.
How do you guys feel about hard-boiled eggs? Do you like them?
Yeah, eat them a lot.
I like them in things. Like I like them on a salad, or like
in your mouth. Or...
Yeah, I like them in my stomach.
In
No,
what? Like in salad.
Yeah, in salad or like tuna salad or seafood salad.
But
like
you won't eat a plain one.
No, I don't like them enough plain. I do I have started soft boiling eggs, so they're kind of soft in the middle, and then I spread them over toast. That I like a lot.
How about a deviled egg?
Deviled eggs are delicious, but that's not hard boiled. The yolk's creamy. I don't mind the white part. I just the hard yolk is not my favorite. I like a soft.
I will do hard boiled egg. But what you do, this makes it sound like a fucking slob. What you do is you eat it over the sink, and then you have like you have soy sauce, and so you like take a bite and pour soy sauce over the top of it, and take another bite and pour more soy sauce, and like half the soy sauce drips into the sink. That's why you got to eat over the sink, but it's really good.
Just put it in a bowl and dunk it, you fucking animal. Why you have to do it over the sink?
That's perverse.
I'm in a hurry.
What'd you guys do over Easter? I remember we'd all used to go out and eat cheesy potatoes over the storm drain in case something fell out of our mouths because we're a bunch of fat fucks. What?
All right. Fuck? Well, it's a food podcast. We talked about food, so fuck y'all.
So you heard it here first. Eat your sink eggs.
We stopped talking about the Juggalos for 2 seconds, and here's what happened.
You get 1 drop of soy sauce in the pink mouth and 2 in the sink.
All right. Happy Easter. That'll do it for this time. We'll be back next time. We're trying out 3 brand new foods.
Deuces.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.